All right, everyone. I think we will be starting it in 1 minute about this webinar, and Rashri will be walk us through about the interesting automations that you can use through AI. We are also streaming on YouTube, so we will be starting in a moment. We have so far 17 participants joined, so I will start the recording now so that we can use it for our improvement purpose. And I will start the recording to my cloud. All right, great. So I am all set. Rashri, it's over to you.
Yes, thank you, Niladri, for setting up the infrastructure and giving an opportunity to talk about, the different use cases that we are going to, demonstrate today. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rajashri Arjun. If you look at the theme, right, for today is to see how you can leverage generative AI, right, in your work, and I would be actually demonstrating, you through some different tools in terms of how you can do that. So before we set the context, this is me. I am an agile coach currently based out of Stockholm and working for an automobile organization in order to support, their agile transformation. So. So let's now get into the actual agenda and tell you what are the things we are going to cover. So typically we are going to look at 5 cases. One is how do you generate user stories from product description documents. Then we would also be doing some kind of a refinement of the story. Now refinement could mean a lot of things, but in this webinar we would be focusing on a specific use case. That is, how do you generate acceptance criteria from your user stories in a yeah. So that's what we are going to do that, and we are going to do that using the Gherkin format. So Gherkin format is the given when then criteria, right? When you write the acceptance criteria. The third use case we are going to also see is how do you create some UI interfaces. For example, if you have a user story which requires some kind of an interaction with the designer, how can you use AI to kind of do that? Then the fourth use case would be that imagine that you are a scrum master and you have conducted a retrospective, and at the end of the retrospective you want to generate some action items, right? You want to take forward in the next sprint. So that's another use case that we are going to look at. And the last use case that we are going to look at is an AI voice agent, where we would be actually calling a voice agent, and the objective of the voice agent is to understand the problem statement and book an appointment with me, so that we can understand and take the conversation a little bit more in depth. So these are some of the use cases that we are going to cover, and all of these use cases are going to be actually demoed also. So it's not only going to be a PPT presentation, there is going to be a lot of demos that also we are going to do. Okay, and your questions, I encourage you to type the questions in the chat window. When I'm presenting, I may not be able to see that, but towards the end, I'll keep some time aside and to answer the
Yeah,
questions.
maybe at the end of every use cases, we can have a quick pause if anyone have any questions. And all of you who are watching in the YouTube, you can ask the questions in your chat. So I will bring those questions to you. So we may have a small pause between the use cases. Is that work, Rashri?
Yeah, that's fine also. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the first use case is about the user story generation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to uh, generate a prompt over here. I mean, I'm going to write a prompt and uh, create a product description document. And after the product description document is created, then I'll show you how automatically we can create user stories. Okay, so I will just minimize this for a while, and then I'm just going to, I've kept a prompt ready with us, which I'm going to copy paste now into my chat GPT. Okay, so let me just copy this and let me open my chat GPT instance. Mm, okay, just give me a second. I just need to open my chat GPT instance and then I'll share my screen again. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen here. And you see, uh, I'm going to now write a prompt over here, which I've basically copied that. So I want the GPT to act as a product manager, wherein I will give the URL of a company's official website, and then I'll ask, you know, the GPT to look into the products this company offers, and then it's going to basically look into the products and then identify a product that this company can build, which can basically act as a competitive advantage for them. Okay, so the product description document that it is going to generate is going to have a couple of things like the name of the product, the customer segments, what is the problem we are trying to solve, what could be the proposed solution, what could be the features and benefits, what could be the differentiation that this product can bring, and what kind of an impact it can create, and how do you go to the market with this product. So the first thing you see it's going to ask me is about the URL of the company. Okay, so let me just execute this prompt here, and you see it's asking me to provide the URL of the company's official website. So let me give uh, any company that comes in my mind, right? Maybe the I can give my client's company. Okay, so my client's organization basically develops driverless buses and trucks. So I will just give this company, and let's see what it gives. So it's going to do a web scan, and it basically is coming up, with some response over here, and it comes up with a. It's now going to, ask me that do I need to uh, give you the details over here. So I'll say, yeah, continue giving me the product description document. Continue giving me the product description document. Now it's going to basically, yeah, it gives me a name of a product that's called a Straighten Pulse Grid. Who could be my customers? What could be the problem statement? What is the proposed solution? What could be the features and benefit this product can have? Competitive differentiation, business impact. So whatever I wanted, right, it has given me that. Okay, now it's asking me whether you want this to be turned into a Word document or a PowerPoint file. So let me say that, okay, give me a Word document. Give me a Word document for this. So let's wait because generation of the document takes a little bit of time. So that will once the document is created, then we will start creating or focusing on the first use case. Okay, so here you have the document, and if I open this document here, okay, so you see it has created a document for me, okay, over here. And this document, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and paste it in a Google document, okay, over here. So let me just copy paste this the way it is. And I will go to my Google folder and I will put this document here and just create a blank document here, paste this content, okay, and give a name, okay. So let's give it as Pulse Grid. Right? So that's my document. Now, the first use case, okay, that we are going to generate is the set of user stories. So in order to generate the user stories, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leverage a integration platform called as Make. Not sure about how many of you have heard of make.com, but it is a platform which helps you to integrate, different tools. So it's going to basically, look at the Google document. I mean, access my Google folder, scan the document, then pass the content of the document to the LLM tool, and then finally it is going to upload, the user stories in my backlog over here. So at this point of time, my backlog is empty. So I'll show you, like how that is done. Right? I'll not go into the details of how the integration has been done because I just want to show you the use cases. Maybe at a later point of time, if there is an interest, we can have a very dedicated, session on this. The intent of this webinar is to show you, the capabilities of LLM. But I'll just give you a brief description of what is going to happen. So it's basically going to scan my Google folder. It's going to then, spin up an instance of ChatGPT, where ChatGPT is going to scan this entire document, create the list of user stories in a kind of a JSON format. Then the JSON would be iterated, and then the stories would be temporarily first placed in a Google Sheet, and from there directly it's going to go into Jira. Right? For the demo purpose, it's going to create approximately around 4 to 5 stories. So let me do that now, and I'm just going to execute this. So here is my product. I save this, and let me run the script. Okay. So here you see the GPT is working. Sometimes it gives an error, but that's okay. We will fix it up. Many a times you need to run it twice. Okay. So just give me a sec. Maybe there is a small technical glitch here. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me create another document. Okay. Because maybe this document was having these extra characters and it was not able to parse it properly. So let me create another one for you.
And we don't need to share this document to public or something. It's accessing from
No,
your local
yeah,
credentials.
yeah. So this is absolutely
Secure.
yeah. Create, okay. Create a, let me just copy it from here because there was some amount of formatting that was done. Maybe for that reason.
No, you copy the text, put it into Notepad, and from Notepad you paste it there. I think it will lose the
Yeah,
formatting.
we'll do that. Yes, we'll do that. So we just copied it. And then let me first of all put it in a usual Word document here. I think this could work. So let's see. And then what we'll
Those
do is
line breaks may not be something your AI will be able to understand. You can paste it into Notepad. I think that will be better.
yeah, we can do that also. Let me try it out once. Just give me a sec.
Sure.
So let's call it as, Triton 1. And then save this document. So let's try it out now again. So this time it has worked. So, uh, so you see, it's creating a couple of stories over here. Okay. So in Jira, you see it's written 5 over here. That means it has gone and created 5 stories. So if I do a refresh in Jira now, you should be able to see, 5 stories that have been created over here. Now, the stories have not only been created, the stories also have some kind of a description that is mentioned. So if you open any one of these stories, you will see that it has also identified some persona. Okay. And it has written the story the way I wanted it to write. So as a fleet operator, I want the system to automatically schedule charging based on grid demand and tariff rates. So whatever. I mean, you see, it has actually generated the user stories with a proper description, identified the persona also. So does this sound look interesting to all of you? So that was the first use case I wanted to, show you. So you see, the first use case was where I created a product description document. And of course, in the product description document, if ChatGPT comes up with the fancy formatting and all that things, many a times, the parsing creates a problem, but I'm trying to also improve those things as well, right? But for the moment, I wanted to show you that from a product description document, you see, you can actually generate stories and then it saves you a lot of time. Okay. The second use case that I want to now demonstrate to all of you is about the refinement part. Okay. And as I told you that the refinement part is something that it could be a lot of things, right? We can do under refinement. You can add, estimates. You can do some subtasking. You can do some acceptance criteria. You can assign a owner. So there are a lot of things, you can do as part of refinement. The use case that we are going to show you is how do you generate acceptance criteria, right? So that's the one that I'm going to now show you over here. So let's take that and let me hide this. So what we are going to do now is we are going to run a scenario which is going to basically, do this refinement part for us, right? And most probably it is this scenario that I'm going to do. So let me explain to you what is going to happen, and then we will see how it does. So we have a webhook. Okay, webhook means that it's going to sense the triggering part, right? And I'll tell you what is the trigger. So the moment the trigger is fired, it is going to pass the content to the GPT, and then the GPT is going to generate the acceptance criteria, update that in Jira. I mean, update that and populate that in Jira. So let's do that. Okay. So I'll go to Jira now over here, and let me take a couple of stories, right? Let me take 2 or 3 stories, and I will just put them into my sprint backlog. Okay. And then I will come to my sprint board over here, and I just want to show you how the workflow has been structured. Okay. So the 3 stories that I have, these are in my to-do state. Now, my triggering point is going to be when I transition the ticket from here, right, from the to-do state to the AI input for acceptance criteria. So the moment I move this ticket from here to here, right, then that trigger is going to execute in make.com. And once that is done, then the ticket will automatically move to the team review. So that's what is going to happen. So at this point of time, if you see the ticket, you'll see the acceptance criteria is not updated. Okay, there's nothing in the acceptance criteria. So let's do this. Okay, so I move this here, and I just wait for a while, and you see the ticket has moved here. Okay, so now let's open this ticket and see whether the acceptance criteria has been generated or not. So look at this, right? Acceptance criteria. It has identified a set of features. Okay, and then it has written the acceptance criteria in a given when then format. So this is one acceptance criteria. For another scenario, this is another acceptance criteria. Then there's another acceptance criteria over here. There's another acceptance criteria over here. And likewise, there's another criteria over here also. Now, the ticket is now going to wait here. So the reason why it is going to wait here is that it is going to wait for the team's input. So as a team, right, as a Scrum team, we might need to make some changes. Right? We might need to review this, or might need to, make some modifications. So then, that activity is going to happen over here in this bit. So after the team works on this, makes the changes in the acceptance criteria, then the teams will move it to the in progress state. Okay. And then what is going to happen is if this story, say for example, requires some user interface, then the story has to be moved to the AI review of the user interface. Okay. And then the user interface is going to be again generated by AI. And then again, it is going to go to the team to review the user interface. So my third use case is going to actually demonstrate that if there is a story which requires you to have some user interface, how can AI help you to do that? Okay, so that is what we are going to cover as part of our third use case over here.
Before we go into the third use case, there are a couple of questions that we may have the second one. The second use case is the triggering you have executed from the workflow post functions or Jira automation.
So the workflow has been we have not done anything from the workflow automation. So there is the Jira automation feature,
Right.
which is sensing the movement of the ticket from to do to the AI state. Okay. So
Okay.
what is happening is I can, if people are interested, I can go and show the automation part as well.
Yeah, just to quickly go over it, not in very
Yeah.
details.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to see the project settings over here. Now, somehow the user interface looks to be a little bit different.
Yeah, Jira have
Uh,
changed their user interface.
yeah. Sorry.
So you click on the project and then you will be able to see it. The three dots you can see on the projects. From there also you can see the project settings.
Yeah. Okay. Project settings. Yeah. Thanks, Niladri, for that. So the automation over here is, you see this one. Okay. AI review, right? So here, basically, what we are doing is that we are basically, when the work item is transitioned to this state, then you send a webhook request to this one. So that
Okay.
this request is this webhook, right? This URL of this webhook is nothing but this one.
Yeah,
And
and
then
the parameter you are passing to this, the whole user story or some descriptions you will be passing to the webhook.
yes, yes, yes. So this
Correct.
is what we are passing. So we are passing this as a JSON file over here. You see?
Okay. All right.
Okay. So this is how it is done.
The smart fields, it's having a list of smart fields, right, that you are using
Yeah.
over it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Okay.
And
So
how
this
you
was
are moving it back means how make.com is sending it back to Jira. So in make.com, you need to give your Jira credentials and the ID, how it is getting it.
yes. Yes. So so you have a Jira connection over here, which is done through the API. So the
Okay.
moment you connect it with the API, right, then it gives you to also select the project, and then you update the user story and whatever. This is the output that has been generated from the GPT. So the GPT, whatever output it generates, right, that has to be captured into this section over here in acceptance criteria.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. So there are a couple of questions we have in the chat. YouTube link, please. Yeah, you can search agiledigest.com as it is going live. After that, you will be able to see it there. Sandy Ravi says, hi there. Is this the only one app, makes.com, or do we have similar products in the market? Yeah, there are many other products. You can also look for NA10. That also does a similar kind of work. NA10, the good part of NA10 is a open source. So if you have your own infrastructure, you can install it there free of cost. We
Yeah.
can talk about that at the end as well. Deepak says, do we get the recording of the session? You will be able to see it in the YouTube because we are going live. So it will be saved there. Varun said, please share the prompt for creating product description document. Okay, Rajesh, if you possible, you can share the prompt to everyone for creating that product description.
Sure.
And Shisha mentioned acceptance criteria should be written based on the prototype and user flow, how AI will understand the flow without reviewing it. All right. How you have configured the ChatGPT to
So
render it? Yeah.
yeah. So basically, what you see, it all depends on the context, right? So for example, in ChatGPT, what I have done here is you will see that I have written just a very simple prompt that you are a product owner, you return me the acceptance criteria in a given when then format. And then I've given him the stories and the summary of the story and the description. So if you want that you want to add more context, this is the place where you can go and add more of your more, whatever context you want, right? So you there are different parameters also which you can set, for like example, temperature and things like that. So if you set the temperature, then to low, it's going to give you more contextual responses. If you set the temperature to high, it's going to give you more innovative responses.
And one more curious question, that when you are calling the webhooks through Jira Automation, I can send a Confluence page as well. And
Yeah.
your webhook can read the content from the Confluence page as a source of meta information or the user
Yes.
or prototypes, everything. Okay. Okay, got it.
Exactly. So this was the second use case. Now let me go and walk you through the third use case. Again, the third use case, sometimes it works, sometimes it may not work. let's hope it works this time. So that is going to be on the user interface. Okay, so let me again explain to you what is going to happen. So there is going to be the hook is going to sense when the ticket is moving from the state of from here from in progress to AI review, and then it's going to basically create a prompt to generate the image, and then it is going to be passed to DALI. So DALI is my image generator, and then it is going to create a HTTP request file, and then ultimately is going to get posted to Jira. So that's what is going to happen. Okay. So let's see whether this works out. Uh, so let me go back to Jira over here, and I move it here. So from here, now let's move this, okay, over here. If I move this here, after a few seconds, it should move to the team review over here. So let's see. So it's waiting for data. Let me just do it again once. Yeah, this time it should work. So you see the GPT is working. DALI image is getting generated. The image generation takes a little bit of time, so you need to wait. I don't know. So you can see the green
Progress.
color bar is progressing gradually. And then the HTTP file, and then you have then Jira is getting updated over here. So if you come to this now, right, and you see, you'll see the image as an attachment over here. So actually I did two transitions, right? That's why it generated two images for me. So this is one image which it has generated. Now this image is, uh, since it is generated in DALI, right? It's not a very legible image, but at least good, for a conversation between the developer and the designer. I'm trying to also do this in Figma, but the Figma integration was not working so well. So I thought, let me do that, in DALI for the moment, and then later on I'll try in Figma. But you see, the advantage of doing this is that it generates an image and it gives you a lot of opportunity to have more meaningful conversations with your designer. Right. So this is another use case that I wanted to demonstrate to you how you can generate, your user interfaces through ChatGPT. The fourth use case that I'm going to now, by the way, any questions on this? Anyone? Is there any questions in the chat, Iladri?
Sisha mentioned, can you show the AI generating UI creation, how to create directly from the Gen AI tool? Sisha, is that answer your questions or you intended to ask something different?
No, no, the same. That is the question because we are not integrated tool right now, and we are seeing it for the first time. Is there any like example you can show from the prompt like a Gen AI where we can directly generate the UI creation that will be helpful for us?
Okay, means outside of these use cases, you want to see directly you can generate tools?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, we will
Yes.
talk about that. There are many.
Sure, sure, please.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so there are a lot of, so you can just take this prompt over here, you see, right? And then if you run this right on ChatGPT, then it will basically generate an image for you. So
Oh,
so this
okay,
is,
okay.
yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, but here what we are doing is we are passing it as a parameter, right? The summary of the story, the description of the story. But in when you go and write it in ChatGPT, you have to explicitly write the story. So, yeah. But but that was what I wanted to show you as part of the, the use case number 3, which was about wireframe creation. The next use case we are going to walk you through is about a retrospective. Imagine as a Scrum Master, you have done a retrospective and you want to generate some action items. Okay. So I have a retrospective uh, board over here, which was done with a team. And the team usually does their retrospectives in Mural. Okay. They have this retrospective board over here in terms of what went well, what did not go well, what ideas do we have, how should we take action. So I'll show you now, one capability that how can you scan this image and generate action items directly into Jira. So let's go back again over here and show you that. So I have this visual retro board integration. Okay. So what is going to happen here is, because it's an image file, it's going to first of all look at the folder where the file is, and then it's going to open the file and then going to execute Google Cloud Vision. Okay, Google Cloud Vision is going to take the, scan the content from the entire image file and pass it to GPT. GPT is going to generate the action items, and then, it's going to send it in some format. The text would need to be parsed and then it would need to be iterated. Okay, because it would generate multiple action items. And then each element from this array would be populated into the Jira platform. Okay. So if you see, right, I have a board over here. It's called as a retro action item board. This board is currently empty over here. So when I run this scenario, ideally the retrospective action items should get populated. So let's do that. Okay. So I will just choose the file. It's generating, you see over here now, the action items. So it has generated 10 action items for me. If I go to the board and I do a refresh, there you are. Okay. The 10 action items it has generated.
So what are the steps you have in the flow?
So first you scan the document. Sorry,
Okay.
read the document.
So it's
And
reading
then,
from Google Drive, but you have it in Mural, right?
no, this is not in Mural. So it was originally in Mural, but basically, if you look at the file, right, it's an image file.
Okay, you take a screenshot and put it into Google Drive.
Yeah.
So it does not have direct integration with Mural. It cannot read from Mural board.
It can read from Miro, it can read from Mural as well. But at this point of time,
Okay,
I'm
there is
still,
the options we can explore
yeah,
that as.
I am still working on the, on the Mural part over here. It's still work in process for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So these were, some of the use cases that I wanted to show. I hope you found it useful, right? And it shows you, how much of time you can save. So there are times when people ask that how would you present this to senior management in terms of benefits? So what we usually do is, we have this kind of a uh, template wherein we try to show that, okay, the activity that you were doing before, how much hours you were spending, and now with generative AI, what are the things you are doing? How many things are being done by AI? How many things are being delegated to a human being? And then you can show this kind of a representation to management. in terms of the hours and efforts that you're saving. So you need to create this by thinking about a deliverable, and then what are the steps you do, right? And then break that up into 3 swim lanes. Like, what are you going to do as a human? What is going to happen, and what are the things that AI is going to take to do, right? And then you find out the savings that you have. Any questions, Nadi, on the board before I show the last use case?
I think I am good. Anyone have any other questions? All right, I think we can move ahead.
Okay, so the last use case is about a voice agent. Okay, where I'm actually going to call a voice agent and have a conversation, and then it's going to actually book a calendar. It's going to send a calendar invite. Okay, so we'll do that now. So before I do that, I need to stop the sharing and then reshare my screen, because I need to make sure that the audio from the voice agent is audible to all of you. So let me do that first. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay. Share, and then I need to share the sound here. Okay. I will run the voice agent for 2 seconds, and then I want a confirmation if you can hear it. And then I will, execute it again right from the beginning. Mhm. So this is a voice agent that I have developed using a platform called as Retail. Okay, and it is also integrated with make.com. This is my prompt, right? It's a very, very large prompt that I've written, just to make it, feel like as if it's talking to a human. So let me run this from here. You can actually make a physical phone call also and have a conversation. But I will run it from my workbench over here so that you can hear it. So I'll run it for 2 seconds and then let me know if you can hear, and then I'll start it again.
Hello, this is Mike from AI Agility.
Could you hear it?
Yes.
Was it clear enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's have a conversation with the agent now.
Hello, this is Mike from AI Agility. How can I help you?
Hey Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? What's on your mind today?
We are doing good. I have a team of almost, around 30 people with me. Can you say hi to them?
Wow, 30 people. That's a solid team you've got there. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Sounds like a great group to work with. So what can I help you and your team with today?
Yeah, so Mike, we are looking at, how can, AI help us in our agile ways of working?
That's a great question. AI can really enhance agile workflows by automating repetitive tasks, providing data-driven insights for better decision-making, and even improving team collaboration through smarter tools. What's your team's main goal with AI speeding up delivery, improving planning, or something else?
So we are looking at, how we can have a better collaboration, reduce our, cycle time, and have greater customer satisfaction.
Got it. Better collaboration, reduce cycle time, and happier customers. That's a fantastic focus. AI can definitely help streamline communication, identify bottlenecks, and even predict customer needs to keep them delighted. What industry are you in, and what's your business name?
So we are in the business of, education. And
Education.
the company that we work for is called as Agile Digest.
Education is such an impactful space to be in, and Agile Digest is a great name. It really says what you're about. With a team of 30, are you the decision maker for exploring AI solutions, or is there someone else involved?
No, there is a person called as Niladri who is the decision maker.
Got it. Niladri is the decision maker. Are you looking to explore AI solutions together, or should I connect directly with Niladri? Also, how did you hear about AI agility?
So I am Niladri's assistant. I can help you to connect with him.
Perfect. Thanks for letting me know. And how did you or Niladri hear about AI agility? Was it through LinkedIn, an email, or something else?
It was through LinkedIn. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. LinkedIn is a great place to connect. Since you're helping Niladri, would you like me to set up a consultation with our founder, Raj, to explore how we can help Agile Digest achieve those collaboration and customer satisfaction goals?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Let's get that scheduled. Could you share Niladri's full name, email, and phone number so I can set up the consultation? I'll make sure everything's accurate.
So his full name is Niladri Mahapatra.
Thanks. Let me confirm Niladri Mahapatra, correct? Could
That's
you
right.
also share his email address and phone number?
His email ID is mniladri@gmail.com.
Got it. Let me confirm. Niladri's email is mniladri@gmail.com, correct? And his phone number?
It's 8800
Could you repeat the
1.
phone number for me?
Yeah, 8800
Could you repeat the phone
8800 11 2559.
Thanks for sharing. Let me confirm. The phone number is 8800-18801125559, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, what time zone is Niladri in? And do you have a preferred date for the consultation?
How about Monday?
Got it. Monday works. What time zone is Niladri in? That way I
He's
can find the best time for him.
He is in the Indian Standard Time Zone.
Let me check the availability for Monday in Indian Standard Time. On Monday, the available time slots are between 12:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. IST. What time works best for Niladri within that range?
I think 1 p.m. works good.
Great. Let me confirm Monday at 1 p.m. IST works for Niladri, correct? Let me book
Yes.
that for you. The consultation is successfully booked for Monday at 1 p.m. IST for Niladri Mahapatra. If you or Niladri have any questions before then, feel free to reach out. Thanks for connecting, and I look forward to helping Agile Digest achieve its goals.
Thank you. Have a good time.
Thanks for your time. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch soon.
So, Niladri, you should have got an email from my email ID.
Yes, I sent that on the chat. So everyone, you can see I received that immediately with that agent.
Yes. So this is another way through which you can leverage AI to connect with your customers, or your customers can connect with you. And then let me show you another interesting thing. Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah. So this is all through that tool. What was the tool name? You shows retail
Yeah,
AI.
it's retail.ai. And then the conversation, I have also recorded the conversation. So imagine tomorrow when I have a conversation with you, I need to know what is the context, right?
All right.
So I integrated that with make.com, and the entire conversation has been populated, into the Google Drive also. I mean, into a Google Sheet over here. So you see, this is the entire conversation. First, it gives me a summary. The user and assistant to decision maker Niladri Mahapatra from Agile Digest inquired how AI can enhance their team's collaboration, customer satisfaction in the education sector. After discussing the needs, the agent has successfully, booked a consultation call. And the entire conversation that I had with the agent, right, has been documented over here. So tomorrow, when I get into a call with Niladri, I know what is the context. So I'm better prepared, to have a conversation.
All right. Okay.
So that was it. Yeah.
This retail that app, is it a chargeable app? It's a free one, or how their pricings are?
So retail is not a, it's not a chargeable platform, but Make is. Make, you get around, you get when you start, you get to do around 1,000 operations for free, and after that, you need to buy the operations from them. So they usually take around I think $10 or $15 for 10,000 operations in a month.
Okay, and each
And
operation means if your workflow have 5 steps is counted as 5 operation.
yes, yes.
Okay. So make.com is not open source like N8N. You can use it free if you host it on your own server, but make.com is only available at cloud.
Yeah, at this point of time, it is available on the cloud. Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So we will ask the participants if anyone have any question. Is possible to use this for user interview, market research, persona on its own without knowing your counterpart? Yes, definitely, Raj, you will be able to answer it better.
Yes, of course. Yes, you can use. I mean, you need to change the prompt accordingly, because the voice agent that I had built, right? The intent was to book an appointment. So, but if you want to kind of do some research and all that stuff, it all depends on what the way you are, crafting your prompt.
All right. Okay. All right. Is there anything else, Raj?
No, I don't think we have anything else. Any other questions?
We have a special offer for all those participants about PI planning simulations. So you
Oh
can
yes,
show that.
let me share that. Yes, yeah. So I just want to share that also. So we are actually doing a PI planning simulation on 12th of July, and participants who would register for that, right, would get a 25% off. So strongly
Yeah.
encourage you to, join this and make the best out of it.
And on top of that, we have a special discount code for all the participants only. You will be getting that coupon code in chat, which will give you 50% discount if you book it in next 24 hours. So PI planning simulations is, I will quickly give you a brief that everyone, I believe you understand what is SAFE is. And the heartbeat of SAFE is PI planning. And many people, they face difficulties to experience a real life exposure on how PI planning works. So if you think that is somewhere you may be looking for, you can definitely explore that. You can look into that. You have this link, or if you want a link, you will be able to find it out. And if there is any questions, you know how to reach me, and we can take it there further. So thank you all for participating and joining us today. Your participation gives us motivation. So we'll bring up with more of these kind of automations and AI going forwards, free of cost as a live webinar. And we'll see how people enjoy that and contribute it. If anyone of you wants to contribute, that you know something and you want to explore that or expand that your knowledge to others, let us know. We can conduct similar kind of webinar where you can be the host and we will share your knowledge towards everyone. All right, great then.
Thank you. Thank you all for the time.
Thank you. Someone was asking for a UI generation. Who was that? That is there any tool you are asking for generating UI?
Yeah, so there are different tools. There is Figma is there. There is, you can in fact generate Google. I think ChatGPT has now come up with another, variation through which very good images could be generated also.
See, there are few tools, those are dedicatedly available for generating tools. ChatGPT have got something called Codex, but Codex need little complication because it interact with GitHub. Everyone is not having that familiarity with GitHubs, but try to use stitch.withgoogle.com. And I will quickly show you some screen that I actually have generated because I was building some product. And for that, I was generating some UI. So if you see, this is one of the UI that was generated through Google Stitch. So for every of these UI, I have just given a prompt and it's generate the UI for me. So this is free of cost as of now available. This is by Google, and you can definitely use it, and it will be generating a UI for you. You need to give what exactly you need. But what I like, there is another tool you can use that's called Ready. REDDY, and ready.ai, READDY. So ready.ai is also, you can explore. It generates UI for you. What you like to design today, you give it a prompt, and for desktop or mobile, it will generate your this UI for you. And I think I had created something earlier. This is something I was trying to create, and this is what it has generated. So this is the prompt I have given earlier, and it's created something for me, right? So this is the whole UI. But there is, what I used most is called GenSpark. If you use genspark.ai, genspark.ai is actually generates real code and HTML along with you. I'll show you some of the sample that I might have created, and let's see if it can bring that up. Not in
I
this
need to join another call now. Can I drop?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so we may come up with another webinar for different tools that maybe people will be looking for. I will explore how exactly that works. So till that time, everyone have a wonderful day, and stay connected with AI, because AI is transitioning every industry in such a way that without AI, we may be absolute. So let's wait for the next webinar. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Niladri. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you all.